So thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure. Let's begin with a brief introduction of yourself, your role, and about your company.
Thanks for having me, Brian. My name is Dan Myson. I'm CEO and Executive Chairman of Foran Mining. We are developing the world's first carbon neutral copper mine as well as net positive water mine. And it's Saskatchewan in Canada, currently in construction right now.
Terrific. As a participant in the Nordic Funds Mines conference, what are your key objectives for attending, and how do you hope this event will contribute to your company's goals in the current mining landscape?
I think for us, it's first time coming over to the Nordics and to discuss the company. A lot of similarities between our operations in Canada and such in the Nordics. But really, you know, the stage where our company is at, we're approaching the $2 billion market cap, which is as well as approaching producer status. So we've noticed that that's sort of a key inflection point now where the company's reached for a number of bigger generalist funds. So it's been fantastic to meet a number of multi-billion-dollar bigger generalist focused funds on critical minerals. So been very, very lucky and been really enjoying it.
In light of recent geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions, how is your company working to ensure resource security or in the future to maintain its competitive position in the global market?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. And a lot of people are talking about like commodity price and commodity prices right now, and whether that's mispriced or not. And most people say that they mispriced, which I do think they are. But I think the biggest thing that's mispriced is geopolitical risk and jurisdictional risk. So with us being in Canada, we're extremely fortunate to be in a developed country and economy, one that focuses very proudly on Indigenous and First Nations peoples. And we're essentially just continuing along the guidelines of the Saskatchewan government and the federal government, and have done so and been big beneficiaries of the established process there.
With the growing focus on ESG in the mining industry, how are you leveraging this conference to showcase your company's initiatives to the Nordic investment community, known for its strong emphasis in responsible investing?
It's another very good question, Brian. You know, I'll take a step back for a second, and with regards to ESG investing, I'd say one of the big problems has been with ESG investing, and the perception on it has been that it's been largely exclusionary. And what I mean by that is they would just blanket say no to mining. But when you actually look at what mining does for communities and countries and people alike, are exceptionally positive. So we've gone one step further, and we've gone out to showcase how, by sort of being very responsible from an ESG perspective, that can enhance your shareholder returns. And that's a big thing for us, is we always be very clear that it's a business decision for us to have designed the mine to be carbon neutral and, you know, utilize fully electric equipment, jumbos, underground trucks, surface trucks, scoops, equipment, all of that. And then, you know, while we've designed the mine to be net positive on water balance, while we focus so much on our local communities and a number of other things and implementations that we've done.
With the McIlvenna Bay project near completion and commissioning expected in August of 2025, how can you provide an update on the project's timeline, and how are you managing potential challenges to meet your target for commercial production in early 2026? Additionally, how do you see this impacting your production profile of cash flow projects for 2026 and beyond?
So, firstly, good pronunciation on McIlvenna Bay there. Well done. Not many people get that right. And yeah, so McIlvenna Bay is our the phase one production that we are building right now. Very, very exciting time. We're about 11 months away from commissioning, and then, you know, a little bit further away from commercial production. But I guess the big focus for us is really, you know, we've procured all the long lead items. We've got the people. We've got one of the best teams in the world in G Mining Services to lead the build for us, and the best people possible to have. And that, I can't stress how important that is, and our focus on that. So really, it's a daily focus on the execution side to be there every single day and for the next 11 months until we start the commissioning. And it's really as simple as that, to be honest.
Foran recently reported high-grade copper zinc intersections at the Tesla zone. How do these results influence your long-term exploration strategy for the Hanson Lake District? Can you discuss your plans for integrating these new discoveries into your resource base and potentially expanding your production pipeline?
So, been super lucky and super impressed and grateful to our team, our geoscience and geophysics team, on what they've been able to achieve. It's nothing short of amazing. And the discoveries of Tesla and Bridge, and then the discoveries within Tesla and Bridge in terms of the gold zone that we recently discovered there, the high-grade copper, high-grade zinc. So what that's doing is just changing the whole profile of, and you use the word district, which is exactly what this is. It's going to be a world-renowned and world-class district and one of the biggest VMS systems in the world in time, and it's very, very exciting. And so how that impacts our plans is that's what we're planning for now, is our phase 2 expansion, and then potentially a phase 3 depending on how the exploration continues. But that's how we do that, because that's from a shareholder return perspective. There's no greater sort of lever or torque that you can provide if you can scale your asset, because you have such a high proportion of fixed costs in mining. So for every incremental ton you add, the IRR on that additional ton is well and truly over 100%. So we've been super lucky with making these discoveries so close to our existing deposit.
Given the current market dynamics for critical minerals like copper and zinc, and your recent formal construction for phase 1 of the McIlvenna Bay, how is your foreign positioning itself to capitalize on potential growth, particularly from the green energy transition? Are there any strategic partnerships or off-take agreements you're considering to enhance your market position with?
It's a very good question, and I think you are seeing a change in terms of the markets for, let's say, lower carbon or more sustainable or cleaner, high-grade copper, zinc, silver as well, and not so much to an extent in gold. That doesn't really apply, but that is coming. We are in discussions with certain groups that are very confidential, and so we can't talk too much about it, but rest assured everything we do is to maximize the value per share for Foran shareholders, so there will be a lot to come here.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and again, appreciate taking the time to speak with us today, and the best of luck at this event. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thanks. Much appreciated. Thank you.